Okay, welcome back. Unfortunately, I had a little bit of a recording mishap, and the last game that I thought I recorded was not recorded. So that means that we've lost one game in both senses, because I not only did I lose the footage, but I also lost the game. So now we are our record is now 17-3. So that was the third loss. But it's probably a good thing that you don't have to see that game, because I could not hit anything. I don't think I got a single hit in that game, and yeah, ultimately we lost. So at the very least, not having a recording of that game is a good thing, in the sense that you don't have to see how badly I sucked. But yeah, so that happened. If you're wondering why we are suddenly at the 21st game, if you're keeping track. But regardless, I think I'm ready to get into the next one. I'm going to take a very quick look at my lineup just to make sure everything's above board. And yeah, so we're heading into game 21. Means we've only got a few more games left, because once we get to 26, that will be the end of the regular season. So let's see if I can do a little bit better than I did last time. Shouldn't be hard, because I did terribly. And I'm sure it would help if I was wearing my glasses. Yeah, so the last game I was also playing against the Phillies. I believe it was an away game. I don't even think I got a single run or a single hit, and it was a very disappointing game all around. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Sammy Sosa. So that's gonna get caught. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Dean Palmer. I think you can see that there's been a slight drop in my averages as well, like the team averages. Probably as a result of that last game. But let's see if we can get something going on offense this time. So yeah, it's certainly that horrible last experience of that last game tells me that it is not at all certain that even once we get to the World Series that I'm going to be able to win it, you know. But what I will probably do is make a copy of the save file before we get into the World Series, so that if I do lose, we can go back and like replay it, so that just as a way of like demonstrating what winning it looks like. Because as I recall, there's a little bit of like an animation, a thing that plays if you win it. I think it's worth seeing. That should probably just barely fall. Ooh, an error. And I was also looking over, watching my previous recordings, and noting a few things that I think I can improve on. And one of them is definitely taking more pitches, because I think that's part of what screwed me over in the last game that I lost, is that I just am not taking enough pitches. So that'll get through. I don't think I can score. I'm not going to try, but I can probably get Joe Hamilton to the second base. There we go. So yeah, taking more pitches, definitely something I can improve on. And then there's a couple technical things I think I could do better with the recordings, like the volume of the recording. is a bit low, and I will maybe not. And I'll see what I can do to make it louder so it's a little bit easier to hear.
Now batting the center fielder, Tom Goodwin.
And beyond that, there's a couple other things. Like, I know that the sound of my button presses and like the clicking of the remote is also audible, which is not, I don't think, a huge deal. Ooh, that's rough. Double play at the plate. But I think the way to fix that problem probably would involve just getting a new microphone. Because I'm using one that sort of picks up all the sound in the area. But if I had a more like directional mic, I think that would probably improve that problem. So there's a few things that I could definitely do to make the recording quality a little bit better. I think it's just a process of learning. Not that these things have to be improved on. I mean, like, I'm not... Oh boy. I'm not necessarily aiming for, like, professional quality. I think that's probably not worth the time and the money invested into that. Because this YouTube channel is a hobby, not a job. Nor do I want it to be a job. Right back at the warning track, we should get that. So we're up 3-1 here in, what is it, the bottom of the second. So a little bit of a lead, but I don't want to get sloppy. I don't want to let in a bunch of runs if I can avoid it.
Batting fourth, the third baseman, Wade Boggs.
Oof, they're hitting. Oh, that was dangerously close. Ooh, awkward. I kept bumping into the wall there. I could have played that a little bit better.
Batting fifth, the shortstop, Alex Gonzalez. Batting sixth, the pitcher, LaTroy Hawkins. Ball one.
Oops, that's not the right beast to throw to. Not quite. My pitching's been a little bit rough. It's just the beginning of this game here. But let's see if we can get out of the inning. Should get out here.
Leadoff batter, the right fielder, Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, in terms of like the technical improvements that could be made and things like that, like, again, it's not something that I think is necessary, but it's something that, you know, I would do if I'm able to and I have the time and energy.
Batting third, the first baseman, Gary Sheffield.
And as I've said before, I'm not necessarily looking, like, I'm definitely not looking to be like this hyper-polished, you know. Ooh, Daryl Hamilton.
He belted it.
And earned his spot in the starting lineup.
Now batting, the catcher, Jeff King.
There's also a secret Easter egg in this series. If you're listening really closely, if you have your headphones on, you can sometimes hear me taking hits of, of my nicotine vape. Very professional.
Batting second, the catcher.
You can hear me breathing in and then coughing a few times. I basically, whenever I'm going on like a recording spree, I get like a huge glass of tea or water or pop, and then I just sit here with my vape, and I try to juggle being, you know, playing this game and vaping, and anyway, it's very silly.
The pitcher, Joey Hamilton.
If you're a young child watching this and you think that, and you want to get a vape, or you think vaping is cool, I would strongly suggest that you don't. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's expensive, it makes your lungs hurt, and probably gives you cancer in the long run, so I would say don't do it. It's not cool. And same goes with cigarettes, I would say. Just don't start. That's awkward.
Batting fourth, the shortstop, Sean Green. Leadoff batter,
It's actually quite sad because
David
they had like a, you know, I think smoking, like traditional smoking, was basically
right fielder.
not a thing anymore amongst like younger millennials and Gen Z, and then they invented vapes, and it's like, oh well, we almost escaped from that particular societal evil. Then the tobacco companies got us. Anyways,
Leadoff batter, the right fielder, Sammy Sosa.
it's a. My timing was okay, but it just wasn't a great pitch, I don't think. That's too bad.
Now batting, the third baseman, Dean Palmer. Ball one. Batting third, the first baseman, Gary Sheffield.
Oh, lovely. There's a car horn going in the background incessantly.
Batting first, the shortstop, Alex Gonzalez. Strike. Batting second, the pitcher, Brian Anderson. Now batting, the second baseman, Craig Biggio. Batting first, the second baseman, Darryl Hamilton.
I love the soothing sound of a
Batting second,
incessant car horn on a nice afternoon in the city. It's really nothing like it.
strike.
It's like hearing bird song in the country.
Now
I remember one time.
Joey Hamilton.
Oh, it stopped. Good. One time there was a car horn going off in the middle of the night, and this is when I was living with my dad
Batting
as well, and
Michael Tucker.
it just kept going. Like it didn't stop. Like there was something, I don't know, wrong with the car or something, and it was like we both woke up, of course, because it was pretty close to our apartment, and like it just kept going, like for I don't know even know exactly how long, like over an hour. And at that point, my dad just kind of, he was like, you know what, I can't take this anymore. I have to go outside. And I'm like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna like smash the car? Like, what's your plan? But so he went out in the middle of the night and he located the car just by following the noise, right? And when he got there, there was like a group of people who had congregated around the car, and they were like, what do we do? Do we call like police? Like, do we call like the city people? Like, what's the procedure for when a car alarm just keeps going? But I remember my dad being like, yeah, I can't take this, I have to do something. And I'm like, well, what are you gonna do? Like, it's, you're not, I don't think you can just intimidate the car into stopping. It was very funny. Just one of the perks of living in a city, I guess. Alright, let's see if I can let myself take a walk here. I'm just going to put the controller down. I'm going to practice restraint and willpower. There we go. He walked me on 4 pitches. Excellent. So it is possible. Oh, and we immediately hit into a double play. Great. Bottom of the 7th. We're up by 4. Not quite. I could have dove for that. I didn't really have the reaction time down there. Not quite. Not quite. Ah, I should have thrown to second first. So, I'm going to try to run him down. Yeah, for some reason, the fielders are always faster than runners. I don't know why. It doesn't seem to take into consideration like their actual stats. It's like just the fielder is always faster for some reason. So if you catch the computer out like that, it's guaranteed that you can run him down if you get the timing right. I think that'll drop. I think I'm getting a little better at being able to tell when it's going to drop and when it's going to get caught.
Strike. Now pitching, Trevor Hoffman.
Right down the middle.
Batting fourth, the second baseman, Daryl Hamilton.
The bases are loaded for Daryl Hamilton, who happened to hit a home run in his last at bat.
Strike one.
That was not a good strike. I don't agree.
Ball two.
I'm just waiting for a good pitch, practicing my willpower. That was not a great pitch, but it's fine. Could have been worse.
Batting fifth, the catcher, Jeff King.
I think that's going to get caught. And there will be no possibility of tagging up on that play. So next is going to be our pitcher. I will call in the pinch hitter. So let's get our designated pinch hitter guy in here, Jeff Kent. Maybe we can... Well hit, but it's going to be an out, unfortunately. That's too bad.
Batting first, the shortstop, Alex Gonzalez. Pinch hitting, Wilson Guerrero.
I don't really like this ballpark very much. It's like, it feels small in a way that I don't like. It feels like claustrophobic.
Batting first, the center fielder, Tom Goodwin.
I don't know if the dimensions of it are actually like meaningfully smaller than other
The left fielder,
ballparks in this game, but it feels small. Oh jeez, I should have missed one. So much for plate discipline, I guess.
now batting, the shortstop, Sean Green.
Okay, it's the bottom of the ninth, and we're still up by 4 runs, so I'm not worried about losing this game. I think should be in the bag. Although that's unfortunate.
My, oh my, that ball had a vapor trail on it. My, oh my. Batting second, the catcher, Javi Lopez.
I feel like the computer really likes hitting those curveballs. I don't know if that's...
Batting third, the first baseman,
I'd have to like
Clark.
test that more to see if it's true, but it seems like they get a lot of hits off it if it's in the strike zone.
Fourth, the left fielder, David Justice.
Yikes.
That was a mammoth.
Wow, I've never seen a home run like that. Usually when the computer hits a home run, you know right away that it's a home run.
Now batting,
That was very unusual.
Matt
So that's not great. We've given up 2 solo home runs here, but I think it's... I feel like it's gotta be something to do with that ballpark.
the Chicago
I gotta...
come away with the victory.
Major League Baseball at its finest.
Oh well, still got it. I was also not being particularly careful with my pitching. Who did I get the home run with? Oh yeah, Darryl Hampton. And yeah. Alright, so let's save it and get into our next game. Who's going to be pitching for us? Millwood, our ace. I'm going to just check the schedule, see where we are and who we're playing. So, playing Cincinnati, and it's going to be an away game, and then after that we have just a few more games against Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and we'll get into the playoffs, presumably. Oh, actually, one thing I haven't checked, which I think could be kind of interesting, is statistics. So, National League, and for average, most of our guys, yeah, all of our guys in the top, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the top 7, we have 6 out of the 7 top players in terms of average are from our team. And Goodwin is leading both leagues with an average of 400 in terms of runs. It's actually a Pittsburgh guy who has the most, but Sosa is number 2. We're leading in doubles. We're leading in triples. Goodwin's got 2. We're not leading in home runs. We're actually not particularly good in home runs. So we have Sosa down there with 5, but Jordan, whoever that is leading the league with 7. And then the American League. What is the American League? Oop. How do I switch? I want to look at American home runs. So yeah, so Bagwell has 7 in the American League as well. RBI, Sosa's at number 2 there. Stolen bases, Goodwin has the most with 11. So yeah, let's look at pitchers. Leading in wins. We are on the board with saves. Belinda has 3. Inning pitches, Millwood is leading. So strikeouts, we are horrific. We're not even probably on the board anywhere. Yeah. I just find it hard to get strikeouts in this game. And then ERA, we're probably, yeah, it's all us at the top. So we're definitely playing better than the computer is for sure overall. But not in every case. Not in terms of like home runs or strikeouts.
Strike.
He might be able, yeah, he's gonna lean that out.
Now batting, the left fielder, Jim Edmonds. Strike 1.
So taking that pitch so that I can steal with Goodwin.
Strike.
Great hustle.
Very nice. And let's see, we'll see. Very nice. So that was one of those rare maybe home runs that actually did end in a home run. And how many does Salmon have on the season? He now has only 2. Only 2. Yeah, we're not hitting a lot of home runs, but I wasn't necessarily selecting for power anyways. Like, I think Sosa is the only guy on the team who's like a true power hitter. I'm generally more concerned with batting and speed, because I think that gets you, ultimately I think that gets you more runs than just having pure power. But I could be wrong.
Batting 6, the first baseman, Gary Sheffield. Ball 1.
I don't think that's gonna drop. No. I like the Cincinnati's home jersey. I like the well, whenever there's pinstripes, I'm a sucker for pinstripes. But I also like the black sleeves thing they have going on. It's kind of cool.
Batting 3rd, the first baseman, Todd Hilton. Strike.
Strike.
Leadoff batter, the second baseman, Daryl.
I was just thinking that I'm so glad that I decided to choose the shortest season length, because I think if I'd done this full length, there's no way that I would ever finish this.
Catcher, Jeff King. Ball 1.
Like on my own time, yes. Like over a period of, I don't know, like 3 months or something, maybe more. But I started this with the intention of actually finishing it and getting all of the videos out on a consistent basis. So I'm glad that I chose that. Especially because you just get tired of things if you're playing them too much, no matter what it is or how fun it is.
Batting 2nd, the center fielder, Jim Edmonds.
I wonder sometimes, with people on YouTube who make videos for a living and mostly play the same games, they must get so tired of them eventually. And then it probably starts to feel like a job, which I guess it is.
Center fielder, Tom Goodwin.
It is a job. It's just... That just happened to fall.
Batting second, the left fielder, Jim Edmonds. Strike one.
Oh, that was close. But you would have to be very popular indeed to make any significant money doing this.
Now batting, the shortstop, Sean Green.
I think about the it's gonna be close. Nice. I think about the YouTube success thing. I mean, always it depends on what you, how you determine success. But if you're talking about like audience and income, I suppose, then it's like, you know, 0.1% of people who are on here or something like that are actually gonna be able to make some kind of living off of it. And it's kind of like the whole concept of like making it in the world or becoming rich and getting lucky. It's like there's this myth that if you just work hard enough, you can, you know, you'll eventually make it. But I think the people who are able to make it are people who, yeah, sure, they work hard, but they also have like all these hidden variables in their lives that make it possible to work that hard. Because like you couldn't, you know, invest all this time into like making videos or whatever if you were also working a full-time job, for instance, or like supporting a family, or like, you know, you had all these other responsibilities. So I think it's people who like are able to put a lot of time into this to begin with who can, you know, build an audience. So what I'm saying is like it's not just a matter of hard work. It is like a lot of things outside of your control that determine it. And I do not want to get caught up in that sort of thinking of like, you know, trying to be as successful as possible. I don't think it really matters for me. So we got the RBI out of that one. That's not bad. That should score the runner. He might even throw me out at first. Nah.
Batting fifth, the pitcher, Kevin Millwood.
I will keep Millwood in. I won't do the pinch hitter because it's only in the top of the fourth, and there's no like, there's no pressing need to do that. So we hit into the double play, but it's quite all right because we've got a nice, comfortable lead.
Strike. Strike. Strike three.
And a big swing for strike three.
Batting third, the first baseman, Todd Hilton.
And I have been pitching a lot better this game. I wonder if...
Now batting, the center fielder, Tom Goodwin.
I wonder if having a pitcher with better stats actually does, in some way, affect how many hits.
Second, the left fielder, Jim
How many hits the computer gets against you. Because I can't imagine that my pitching style can't be that much different, like, between games, and yet this game we've let in no hits, and last time there was a lot of hits let in with a not as good pitcher in terms of his statistics. I don't know. Bottom of the fifth.
Leadoff batter, the catcher, Mike Piazza. Batting second, the center fielder, Jim Edmonds.
Oh, I think Jim Edmonds was the guy who got this grand slam on me that one time. Should we hit him? Hit him with a pitch? You know what? We haven't seen that happen yet. Let's do it. Yeah, take that. That's what you get for hitting a grand slam. it's very silly. But it hasn't happened yet in this game where we've been hit by a pitch.
Batting fourth, the left fielder, Moises Alou.
You can throw it at their back like that, but you can also throw it like underneath them. And like knock them over, which is kind of fun. Maybe I'll do it in the next inning. Demonstrate.
Batting fifth, the third baseman, Scott Brocious. Batting first, the right fielder,
In real life,
Sosa.
I would never condone intentionally hitting someone with a fastball, or I mean like with a baseball. If you're throwing it at like, if you're throwing that thing at 90 miles an hour,
Batting second, the
you should
third baseman, Dean Palmer.
do your best never to hit anyone because you can cause so much damage. And I really hate that sometimes happens in baseball. I don't condone it. But these characters are made of polygons, so they don't feel pain. I mean, I hope they don't. It would be weird if they did. Concerning.
Now batting, the second baseman, Darryl Hamilton. Strike one.
I might get thrown out. Yes, I was thrown out. Sheffield is a 6 runner, so, and I didn't get a very good jump, so of course I was thrown out. Nice hit.
Batting fifth, the catcher, Jeff King. Strike one.
High strike, but I will use that to steal. And because I stole, I'm able to get into third base and second base.
Batting sixth, the pitcher, Kevin Millwood.
Didn't quite get through the gap, that's okay.
Leadoff batter, the pitcher, Rick White.
You want to see? Let's see if I can hit him in the feet.
Ball one.
Oh, he jumped. Sometimes you can hit him. I don't know how to do it reliably though.
Strike.
I think that's perhaps I should stop intentionally hitting the computer because
Strike two.
I don't want to. We've got enough of a lead that I could keep doing it, but it's kind of silly. Oh Lord, he's gonna get it, isn't he? No.
Batting second, the second baseman, Fernando Pina. Strike one. Batting third, the shortstop, Mike Caruso. Ball one.
That was awfully close. Well done.
Batting first, the center fielder.
Top of the inning, top of the order. Bad pitch.
Batting second, the left fielder, Tim Salmon.
Also a bad pitch.
Batting third, the shortstop, Sean Green.
So Millwood's probably got another inning or two in him before he gets tired, I imagine. I think he's got pretty good stamina. What is his stamina? 8, yeah, that's pretty good. I don't think I'm catching that.
Batting third, the center fielder, Jim Edmonds.
Okay, Jim, I'm not gonna hit you this time. We got our revenge. He's pretty fast, so he was able to beat that one out.
Batting fourth, the right fielder, Ben Griffey.
Great, that's the inning.
Batting first, the right fielder, Sammy Sosa. Batting second, the third baseman, Dean Palmer.
The middle of the order hasn't been hitting great lately.
Gary Sheffield.
Dean Palmer's down to 333. As if that's a bad average. It's still, like, outstandingly good. But for our purposes, that is a low average. I think Vladdy Guerrero is hitting around 330 right now. Last time I checked, and he's like in the contending for the batting title. He's an outstanding player, he really is. Oh, I shouldn't have dove. I think if I had dove, I would have actually got it. That's awkward.
Now batting, the second baseman, Fernando Pena.
So I'll try to be a little bit cautious about my pitch placement. Well, that's what I get for saying those words, I guess. So the lead has been cut in half. And also now Millwood is tired, so I think a pitching change is in order. Oh Lord, 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 what's going on? We're blowing it. We had a 6-run lead, and now we have only a 2-run lead. That is awkward.
Now pitching, you get Urbina. Now batting, the second baseman, Daryl Hamilton. Ball one.
I thought I was being clever with my pitch placement, but apparently not.
Batting second, the catcher,
And there is still like
King.
shit. There is still some element of chance, I think, because like you might like try to throw the pitch at a certain spot, but unless your guy has perfect control, which none of my pitchers do. Like 10 would be perfect control. I think there's some randomness in terms of like where the pitch actually ends up.
Now batting, the pitcher, Juan Acevedo.
So when I talk about like, yeah, it's interesting though.
Tom Goodwin. Strike one.
And we're almost out of this inning. Oh dear. Oh. That would not have worked in the real world.
Strike two. Ball one.
I just wanted to see. I just wanted to see if it was possible. Okay, now then we just have to get out of this inning without letting in two home runs, or 2 runs rather. Should be doable.
Strike.
And our old foe Edmonds is back up at bat, but not this time, Jim Edmonds.
Batting second, the right fielder.
If there's a villain of this series, it's definitely the Cincinnati Reds. Our rival team.
Batting third, the left fielder.
One more out and we will be safely out of this game. There we go. For you.
The Chicago Cubs come away with the victory.
Major League Baseball at its finest.
So we squeaked out the win despite some awkwardness at the end there. And yeah, there we go. Not bad.